Game one of the Western Conference Finals went the way of the Oklahoma City Thunder. A blowout in game one that I guess we could have seen that coming based on the way that it played out. I don't know. You mentioned this yesterday. Styles make fights with that matchup in that series. And when you don't score a single point on fast break points against a team that likes to run, not going to go your way, especially when you shoot 29% from beyond the arc. And that's what happened to the Minnesota Timberwolves. The first team this playoffs not to make a fast break bucket.
Yeah, part of that, obviously, Ant Edwards rolls his ankle pretty damn bad.
Yep. Same one that he did in the Golden State series.
Came back out there and thugged it out, which is good for him. We don't want to see him out for this series because if he's out, boy, this thing is cooked real quick.
Mm-hmm.
But Minnesota, man, they came out sloppy as hell, and thankfully for them early on, Julius Randle could not freaking miss.
He was great in the first half.
He was 5 of 6 on his first 6 threes. Problem is, nobody matched him. And I talked about, who the series matters the most for, who a win would matter most for. And I said Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert was cheeks.
He was bad.
He was it was unsalvageable. And the number of times I saw him try to grab a rebound with one hand where it got knocked away, it was just bad. And then Dante DiVincenzo, the guy you brought up, was absolutely horrid.
Yep.
Horrid. Not only was he missing shots, just dumb mistakes.
Well, in back-to-back series, the Minnesota Timberwolves score only 88 points.
Again.
And if you look at it, this postseason, we went over this after the Golden State egg that they laid, that they have their season low in the regular season was 93 points. They have now scored 85 points in the Lakers series, loss. 88 points in the Warriors series, game one, loss. 88 points again, game one, Western Conference Finals, loss. That does not mean that Minnesota is done and Oklahoma City is going to run away with this thing by any means. They lost game one against the Lakers 117-95. Or they won that game 117-95. Then they lose 94-85. Okay? The Warriors series, they lose 99-88.
The Timberwolves are a professionally unserious team.
They will when it's not there, but they're also with the playoffs, there's this element of if it's not there, who the hell cares how much you lose by? I mean, it's
they got decimated in the second half. They scored 40 total points. Meanwhile, the Thunder put up 38 in the fourth quarter alone.
The way that third quarter went, the fourth quarter they went, yeah, okay, we're not going to win this game.
Yeah, we're out.
And that's when the only way that they were going to start getting themselves back into it is if they were hitting threes. They did not hit threes, and then they just said, all right, we're going to pack it in. We're done. There's no need to roll Ant Edwards out there and hurt himself even more when the game gets out of hand. So you only play Ant only 37 minutes. But he pulls the ripcord a little bit early in that one. You save Gobert's minutes, you save McDaniels, and you say, we're going to live to fight another day. And I'm okay with that.
Oh, no, when it's cooked, it's cooked.
But the reality is, when you have now each series of the playoffs that you've played in, monumentally poor offensive performances, you've said this since like game one. I can't trust them.
No.
And you can't.
No, there isn't a team in the playoffs that has a wider scale of, oh, wow, to, oh, wow, than the Timberwolves. Because at their peak, when Ant Edwards and Dante and Nas and Jaden and Gobert and everybody's cooking, they can beat the crap out of you.
Yep.
They can beat you from outside. They can beat you inside. They can beat you in transition. They can beat you in the half court. They can just beat you. But my God, there is not a team in the playoffs that takes a bigger shotgun to their own foot than the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And you just watch, and that is like, it's so weird because the Timberwolves, that has been their franchise identity forever. It's the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it doesn't matter what era it is. It's the same thing with the Kings. And that's why I kind of joke, when you're out on Monday, we were talking about conspiracies in the NBA and, the Donaghy stuff and what happened with the Kings. And I jokingly said that the NBA can't let the Kings actually win because then they might get out of their own dysfunction. And the Timberwolves, it's not just this team. They have to exercise the demons of the franchise. And that is a tough thing to do because somebody somewhere is always telling you, yeah, you're the Timberwolves, man. You're the Timberwolves. That's a lot to overcome. And it's more of this existential thing than anything else.
Yeah.
And it's not the end all be all, but that's always something there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's very interesting to kind of watch that because everybody, when we talk about OKC, what do we talk about? Oh, they're always on the way up. They're always on the way up. Because when they got to OKC, they got KD real quick when he moves over there in Seattle and they're on the way up. And so they've always been a team that's ascending. Meanwhile, Minnesota is always the team that can't do it. And so you get these norms that are kind of attached to you that you kind of have to beat, where if OKC falls apart in a game, you go, well, they'll figure it out. Minnesota falls apart, you go, oh, here we go. Because the ties that are associated with that. And I've always been interested in those. I think Portland's kind of in that same boat where they're always the bridesmaid. You know what I mean? There's so many times they're the second best team in the league. And you look at Minnesota and it's the biggest question I have about Ant Edwards. Can he lock in and be the guy? And he's still young. And it's not if he doesn't win now, he's never going to do it. We're not going to do the same thing we did with him with Tatum and Brown. My God, it was so dumb. They've got to figure it out. It's just one game, but I'm worried about the ankle.
Yeah, I'm worried about the ankle too, but these games are going to start getting further apart when they have to travel.
Thankfully.
And that's going to help.
Yeah.
And if they don't win on the road, that's okay. It puts you back against the wall.
It does suck, though, when you go and watch the film, you held J-Dub and Shea to 37% shooting.
Yeah.
And you got smashed.
Yeah.
You got smashed. Now, big part of that is, it's not the only part, the foul baiting stuff, man, with SGA is bad. It's reached Harden-esque level proportions.
Yeah, it's got to stop.
He doesn't need to. He can get to the free throw line without it. Generating free throws is a real skill. Him and Jalen Brunson, hell, Dame, Harden, those guys, they're good at it. You don't need to do that. The one that they had to review when he tripped Jaden McDaniels and then he just fell and threw his arms in the air and he got a foul out of it. And you're just sitting there going, what the hell are we doing here? It happened 3 times last night
And I don't understand what the review process is like if they're saying, yeah, that's a foul. I honestly don't understand how the flopping continues to get rewarded because that's the whole purpose of the review.
Yeah. It's like the refs, the league have got to come together and be like, you've got to tell him to just get up.
Yeah.
Give him the signal.
Or just
get up.
Stop giving him calls.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You don't give him the call.
Don't do it.
You just go like this. Get up.
Yeah, that does need to stop.
Brunson better not do it tonight because he's going to get the same hellacious treatment that SGA got. He got absolutely murdered last night. For good reason.
But did he, though?
Oh.
Because Twitter's whatever. But it didn't seem like Michael Malone didn't seem to agree with that. Former Nuggets coach.
And then Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. He showed why he's the MVP. He took over in the second half.
He did take over because he was 2 of 13 in that first half. And that's what I'm saying. He's good.
I know.
He's great. He's going to win an MVP award tonight.
Yeah, they're giving the MVP up tonight, and it's going to be him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he doesn't get criticized by the people that have the biggest voice. Twitter's one thing.
You saw a lot of players last night too.
Well, that's fine. I mean, but Twitter, the reality is everybody isn't on Twitter. And the majority of people are watching the game, and they're not really talking about it during the broadcast. Well, they aren't.
They'll never talk about it during a broadcast.
Well, they should.
They should.
Yeah. They should talk about it when they're talking about SGA. And that was the infuriating part about Harden. But it got to a point with James Harden where it became unavoidable because the conversation was, oh my God, we cannot continue to let this happen. It went away for a while. Flopping did subside a little bit.
It's coming back
it's
up again.
Coming back, though, because the officials aren't calling it and they're not penalizing guys who do. And there are rules now to penalize players for doing exactly what SGA did. because of James Harden. I mean, that's the reason why the rules exist. So that's the fix right there. And that Michael Malone clip that we played, first of all, he's going to be really good at this
whole broadcasting
analyst
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Like he's really good at that, as long as people don't call him Mike. But can we not do the whole that's a shot at Nikola Jokic? Because I didn't see that as a shot at Jokic at all. And people are like, oh, Michael Malone is just pissed that Jokic didn't save his job. Really?
No, you kidding me? Those guys have an incredible relationship.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Do we all remember Jokic publicly saying he was upset that Michael Malone was gone?
Yeah. Like that's so. What are you doing?
I don't understand that whole thing.
No,
and
it's very dumb.
And that is being talked about by the talking heads, which, again, stupid. If you're going to talk about anything in that game and about SGA, talk about the flopping, not Michael Malone saying he's the MVP, because guess what? Tonight, he's going to win the MVP. Yeah. It's not a shot at Jokic.
It's all very dumb.
It's all dumb. It's all ball bearings these days.